Soon? Alright.
Crystal? Oh. Did he bot wave? Oh. Oh my. Oh, should look at this layout. Oh man.
Oh man.
Look at Zeta's screen. Oh wait, never mind. Oh wait, never mind. What is this?
Nice ad break, by the way.
Ad seconds. Ad seconds.
Solid ad break. Let's go. We got 2 Red Bulls and Asus, and I don't even know what mine is.
Gives you wings so you can skip the fly split.
Yeah, I wish.
I got Red Bull on mine too.
Oh yeah, laptop. I'm the only one with an inverted palette. Oh man.
I'm on monochrome.
Alright, they can hear you. Let's go.
Alright, hello everyone. Let us know if you can actually hear us. But welcome to the Pokemon Red run of MidFall Speedball 2019. So my name's Pseudo Trainer, and with me we have the lovely...
This is my first run in like a week and a half or 2
You're
weeks.
supposed to talk now.
Oh, okay. That wasn't made clear.
My thumb hurts. That's the only problem.
Wow, okay. Apparently we need to practice this ahead of time. But anyways, so we're going to have 4 racers here. From left to right, we have KonceptioN2, who's a red runner who's been running for a few months now. Got really good in the time he's been running. We have GBFZeta, who is also a pretty new runner, but really kind of making improvements with every run. So, and then we have Hwandbro, which is a new red runner, but has been running yellow for a while and already has really good times in red and going for the coveted 145 for our final time. And then we have Quelagging, who is a very diverse runner who is pretty familiar with red and has kind of run it here and there for quite a while, probably the oldest runner out of all these here. So, just really quick, before we get started, timing is going to begin on new game, basically. That's just kind of how this goes, and we'll kind of explain things as we go. But you also notice that Quay's stream looks a little bit different, right? That will kind of change as the run goes. So, what are your predictions for this race, Princess?
I honestly think that Hwandbro is probably the best runner of all of them. Like, really consistent, really good racer. I think he's definitely going to be the winner, but I could totally see someone like Quay or even Conception winning.
All right, boys. Good luck.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things that can happen in Pokemon Red, and the really interesting thing that's happened in Red in the past year is there's been a Pokemon Red tournament in which Quelagging actually got 3rd in, so you never count him out. And ooh, looks like we're starting here. So time, you can start the timer. It's a little bit hard with a race like this, but you can just hit it now. So at the start here, you're going to be noticing that all the characters are going to be one just single letter, and that is because this game basically will spend frames to write out extra characters. And you'd be amazed at how much your name is actually written out in this game. So at the start here, you're going to see a majority of all runners going for the PC.
We're actually skipping it.
Yeah, so we already see Quay taking a little bit of a risk in this game.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he forgot it.
Yeah, it's something that almost in no scenario other than races you'd ever want this, because it throws off an early menu that can kind of either cost time and mess up the manip that we're going to talk about, but also it's actually pretty slow to get, and the odds of you using it is pretty low. So if he doesn't need the potion, he's going to save about, I think it's about 6, yeah. So that's going to be pretty nice to start off. So at the start here, we're going to be picking up Squirtle, and you'll be noticing they are actually naming this Squirtle. They're not going to be naming too many more Pokemon they're going to get during the run. In fact, they're not going to be getting many Pokemon during this run, because getting them is pretty slow, I think.
I like how Conception named it F.
I wonder, so one of the things you can do is we're going to be getting 4 Pokemon in total in this round. So you can spell something out with your Pokemon party. So I wonder if we'll be seeing that at all. So at the start here, we're going to be leading Tail Whip, and then we're going to be going into Tackle. And the number one thing you don't want to see, other than dying in this fight, is Growl. Growl's just going to extend the fight and actually make it more risky for you, because you would think, oh, at least I'm not taking damage. Squirtle has really low attack, as any level 5 Pokemon really would, so taking off percentages and then rounding down really makes a difference. So you can even see one Growl, like sometimes where you'll do like maybe like 1/5 of the bar, and then the next one you're dealing like 1/8. It really makes a difference.
It's extremely awful. Just overall, it lowers your attack by a lot. I believe like 1/3 or something. Koi actually got through with that without any real trouble. So his decision to skip the potion worked out, I guess.
Oh yeah, it was definitely interesting, because we also had Conception here actually taking the first major risk of this entire race. He was at 5 health and he decided to tackle, and if you got crit by the Bulbasaur, you could actually die there.
It's not even just crit. It would need a 139 crit. That's not too much of a risk, in my opinion.
But it's a race, Pinkish. Don't forget, anything can happen.
You don't want to take any real risk, but yeah, it's not that risky. Like the odds of a 1 in 39 crit from a Bulbasaur are very, very low. Like at that point, just save for Sabrina. Here's the second portion of the run, which is also just hugely RNG based. Yeah, you need to kill 1 encounter for experience for your Squirtle, so it can get level 8 after 1 later random fight. Or sorry, not random, mandatory.
Yeah, but they just need a little bit of XP to get Bubble before the first gym leader. Any
encounters that you don't kill are just wasting 10 seconds, so you really don't want that.
Yeah, and along with that, some runners, depending on the conditions, like in a race, they'll actually skip level 3 Pidgeys on the way up. You can kind of tell what attack set your Squirtle has in the first fight, and if you have a low attack Squirtle, you can take a lot of damage, and it can make kind of the rest of your decision making really hard. So even though you're kind of taking a risk of not finding a better encounter and having to kill level 3 anyways at some point, it's almost better to just hope you find a Rattata or something like that. So Hwandbro is the furthest right now. He had a pretty good Rival 1 and a pretty decent Route 1 thus far, but as you can see, all the runners are pretty close, but Hwang is also doing something else interesting. He's talking to Oak from behind him, and this is mandatory in Pokemon Yellow, basically. So you'll kind of see like some runners do and some don't. And Hwang started off with Yellow, so he kind of just does it out of habit now. And it's the exact same timing because your rival moves at half your speed. So if you go up 1 more step, he takes 1 less step, and it just evens out. So exact same speed, it's just a kind of cool variation you can see from runners in the early game here. So at the start, we're pretty even, and Quay, he's also catching up again. At the beginning here, it looks a lot like a standard playthrough of this game, right? Like we're not doing anything that could be considered fast or interesting yet, but that's going to change here really soon. Because what we're going to be doing is going to the mart up here, and each runner is going to be buying Pokeballs, and then immediately going left and saving and resetting the game. And this is our first instance of RNG manipulation. So long story short, if you save and hard reset the console by turning it off and on again, you can get the same outcome no matter what. So there's some small variations we can talk about, especially if it happens. But basically, you're going to see a couple of runners here save and reset, and they're going to walk a very specific path while pressing A. And then when they enter the grass, you should see them get a level 4 Nidoran, and then they're going to toss a ball, and it's going to get in. And
also, small note, what we just saw from Hwandbro, he took 2 extra steps from what the other runners did. He got what's called NPC trolled, where an NPC walked to the left, which if he were to save on the normal tile, it would create extra lag from the NPC being there and would cause them to fail. Also, it looks like Zeta might have gotten an IGT.
That's the unfortunate thing with this manip. You can get IGT'd, or if you make a mistake, you're not going to get the encounter you expect. So it looks like he just made a mistake and he redid the manip. From here, we're going to see all the runners kind of head up and start going to the forest. But there's one thing we have to look out here, and this is Hwandbro. So he did a very hard manip here called Extended. So he is walking a very specific path and doing extra things,
excellent.
And he extends it into a Pidgey here. So this is incredibly difficult. If it looks easy, it's not. You have to do the entire Nidoran catch almost frame perfectly, and then you have to react to NPCs and then do this. But it's not over. Hwang is going to be continuing this, and if he got lucky, this is kind of a mix of luck and skill now. If he gets lucky here, and unfortunately there was either a mistake or he got unlucky there, but the manip can also continue up to this point, where you can keep walking the optimal path and get no encounters all the way to the next fight. But the more things you kind of try to chain together, the more likely it is the manip will fail, even if you do it perfectly. So that's awesome to see, though, in a marathon race like this. Getting the Pidgey is a major boon, and it looks like he's behind, but he's definitely on pace with Quay.
It can't be overstated, like, just how difficult that manipulation is as well. You have to hit a lot of text boxes in a 4-frame window, and then the nickname, in which he named it A, is only a 9-frame window. So it's easy to mess up in pretty much every single place.
So this fight is really annoying for every single person who's ever ran this game. Every single runner has died here multiple times. So the Weedle here can be very annoying because if you get poisoned, it's very hard to play
poison.
it safe. Yeah. So Conception here is risking a lot. So if he misses this tackle, he's dead. Or if that crit.
Or he could be dead, brother.
Ooh,
okay. That's scary. Oh, I would not have taken that risk.
He already potioned. I don't think he had another. If he did, I definitely think that was a small mistake. But, oh, yeah, he didn't have a potion. So he played as safe as he could. But one thing you can do is there's a hidden potion in front of that trainer. It's hard to remember it in the moment, but maybe that could have made that a little safer. And I think I already know what Conception's trying to spell out here. But Quays here is going to be buying some potions. We can do the shopping before or after, but it's almost always better to just do it before because it's safer and it I think only wastes one step in the end or something like that.
But you more than make up for it for not having to swap potions around later.
Oh yeah. And also here, you'll probably see some runners save for this and some not, and it's not really any riskier to not save. What every runner does is on that Weedle fight, you're able to check your stats, and if you have good special, the odds of dying are so incredibly low that you don't really have to save for it, barring some shenanigans that can happen to you. But you'll see here that Quay, when he bubbled, did a lot of damage. Same thing with Hwang. So we know they have good special. And same thing with
special is
Conception. So a good special is more likely than happen than not, but for every runner of the game, trust me, it feels like it's not very likely.
Just a 14 or 15 at level 8.
Yep.
As opposed to 13 is bad. If I remember correctly, it's roughly 1 and 2 to be either.
Yep. So, this fight is kind of scary sometimes. Quay has to heal again here if he wants to be super safe. Okay. He didn't, and it panned out totally fine for him. But right now, every single runner playing this fight exactly how you would want, because Zeta was the only one that had bad special. So, he's gonna have to heal here. I think Crit could have killed. Ooh, and he only has
would have, yeah.
With bad special, that's not what you want. Oh!
It was scary. He's about 1 and 2 to die here.
Yep.
Okay, you could get double speed fall though.
Oh
no!
So
Like,
since
a ton
Zeta
of time.
had bad special here, it was 50-50 for him to the turn he bubbled and the turn that Onyx bited. There's nothing you can do. You just have to take the 50-50. So when you enter that fight and you have bad special and you're in that situation, you just kind of have to roll with it. So very unfortunate. He's the only one that got bad special out of the group too, and now he just has to redo this fight, which, that's so unfortunate.
Takes forever, and there's a chance to die again is the worst part.
Yeah, you can chain this. In the tournament, someone died to this 3 times in a row, and let's hope that doesn't happen here. But because of that one runner in round 1 dying that many times, someone came up with a manually found Pidgey manip. Just
crafted,
because, yeah. If you really have bad special and you don't do the extended Pidgey we saw Hwang do, it's almost better to have a Pidgey because you can swap to the Pidgey and have that die instead.
So you see that we're sort of main swapping from the Squirtle to the Nidoran, and this it's just a beast of a Nidoran. It has perfect stats. And Nidoran itself is just overpowered in Generation 1. It has really good stats on its own. And it can't be poisoned, which is nice for this route, but that's just a smaller detail.
Yeah,
really good for the rest of the game.
You're gonna see it as it goes. It's gonna get even better and better. But even at this point of the run, where we have given it no real
no
other than ooh,
Gen 1 missed bubble, and then he bubbled again. He's dead. He's just dead.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
He actually Gen 1 missed the first bubble, and then bubbled again. A curious decision, but I guess he just didn't notice in time.
Yeah, so let's talk about what Gen 1 missing is. So Gen 1 missing is when this game rolls accuracy, it rolls a number between 0 and 255. And because of a coding error that's natural in the game, if you roll the max number of 255, it checks if 255 is less than 255, which is not true. So you'll miss. So every single move, unless you use an X accuracy, or a few moves that don't even check accuracy, all have a chance to miss. Oh no! Oh no! Death all around us! Conception! His Nidoran died to the Rattata. Oh, and he didn't save. Oh no. So what this means is, since we haven't healed in any Pokemon Center, he's going to be all the way back to Pallet Town and going to have to walk that entire way back. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
That's really bad. I mean, theoretically, he could finish the fight and then heal and then fight the Route 3 last, but no, that's just not going to happen.
Oh,
Oh, this is
That's
terrible.
really rough.
It's gonna waste so much time.
I wasn't looking at his screen exactly during that fight, so it was hard to tell. But that fight can be very risky, but you can play around it, barring any like Gen 1 miss shenanigans. You should be able to play around it and live. So there might be some weird thing that happened, or maybe it like there's also rolls done.
Wow.
Gosh, Zeta is just getting bodied by Brock.
No, I think he's actually through now, basically.
So, yeah, some things can happen too where...
Did you just gem almost again?
I didn't...
Oh
see
my
that,
god.
no. Yeah, he's definitely...
That is the silliest thing. Now he's gem almost on the same fight twice.
You also might want to refresh Pinkish. I think you're a little bit behind.
Alright.
Anyways, so
Yeah, I was like a full fight behind.
wow, this is pretty insane. This start. So we didn't even get to talk about badge boosting. This segment of the run is supposed to be about badge boosting, so I'm gonna explain it anyways. So, in this game, some gym leaders will give you a badge boost, which means that you'll get like a natural increase to your stat depending on what badge you get from them. And with that, there's a natural coding error. Whenever your stats get recalculated, every other stat than the one that's being recalculated, it's the badge boosts reapplied. So, long story short, if anything after you fight Brock happens to your Nidoran that changes your stats besides attack, you are going to get more attack. So you'll see a lot of runners in this split do things like tackling here and there. And your goal is to kind of get strong shot to get a badge boost so you can save a horn attack, which is more valuable to finish off certain Pokemon.
Also, Zeta's finally through Brock. Yeah, it's really important to save some horn attacks because, as you see, from this next RNG manipulation that Hwang's doing, he needs at least 2 horn attacks for the next fight, so he doesn't basically just die to not having enough horn attacks. But you need to save a minimum of 1 in order to do that from what you usually have. And this next RNG manipulation is very long. It manipulates the entire section of Mount Moon, which is notorious for having a really, really high encounter rate, especially for Zubats. With perfect movement and something like 50 A presses.
Yeah, there's a lot of A presses. So we didn't touch on it too much in the Nidoran manip. Well, with these manips, they're not only walking a specific path, they're pressing A's on certain tiles. So A presses have a 17 frame window, which sounds like a lot, right? Oh, you can do that. Look at how long this manip is. Like, cool, he's already been doing it for how long? He's got like 2 minutes left of this manip. So you have to be focused on everything. Pressing A, like, as Pinkish said, like, around 50 times. It's just insane how much execution goes into this.
And the specific technicalities of A presses is it delays the game by 2 frames while it checks for items and hidden items. So in doing that, you can delay the RNG that you're on, basically.
So the very layman explanation of how like a manip like this is found is you run a bot, and if it gets an encounter, you have it lag the game enough to try to see if it can skip the encounter. If it can, you have it keep going. If not, you have it try a different path.
There's only a couple more IGTs that Hwang could get. And this manip is roughly 53 out of 60 to go well if you execute it perfectly. And I'm pretty sure he's past the last IGT aside from No Paris or Yellow Ball Failure.
Yeah, he is. You're 100% correct. When you get past that final kind of turn, when you're on that bottom there, you can kind of have a sigh of relief. So now, it's not over yet. He has to clear that text box frame perfectly, and then he's going to do the same buffer ball toss he does for Nidoran and voila, you caught a Paris, which we're going to be using to teach dig and cut to in this run. So all of that for just a Paris. We didn't manip like a Mewtwo or anything. We just want a Paris.
You also see that Quay is doing some different movement from what Hwang did. He's doing a different Mount Moon manipulation that starts at the beginning of Mount Moon, which can be helpful in races in case you need to take the center. But it's a little bit slower overall.
Yeah, it's a little bit less consistent, slightly slower, but for races, it's pretty good.
I'm pretty sure it's actually more consistent, like in terms of
it has less IGT, actually. Yep.
I thought it was more.
No, you're good.
The main reason that it's slower is because, as you see, he has to do what's known as a select buffer there. After doing the normal buffer into the item menu, he hits select and then hits A, which I don't know how long it takes, but it always feels like a really long time if you're used to the normal. And you see them saving for this fight, because this fight is, in one word, terrible.
It's pretty notorious.
His Rattata is actually one of the worst Pokemon in the early game, in my opinion. Can just do a ton of damage to you because it's a Rattata.
And it has a priority move.
Yeah, and the Zubat has Leash Life, which is super effective in Gen 1 because Bug is super effective against Poison. And it has Supersonic, which is arguably worse. Sorry, not arguably, it's definitely worse. You see Hwang get through that pretty nicely. He didn't hit himself in Confusion, which was very lucky. Yeah,
so we're going to be doing quite a bit in this menu here. So looking at Hwang's screen, we're going to be using the rare candy we picked up during this manip to evolve our Nidoran into Nidorino. Don't get used to Nidorino. He actually sees no fight in this game. So we're going to then teach Water Gun to it. And Water Gun is very scarcely used, but it helps us get better XP. And then we're going to instantly evolve it into a Nidoking. And this is the #1 reason why Nidoking is such a good Pokemon for speedrunning. At this point in the game, it has pretty decent moves, and you can, in the first, 20 or so minutes, get a fully evolved Pokemon. And then, with this route, we're going to be teaching Mega Punch, which is a very strong move, but it's only 85% accurate. And with that, we're going to fight this super nerd now.
Yeah, he just tears through the mid-game, because, on the next section called Nugget Bridge, you're against Pokemon like Weedles, Caterpies, and Pidgeys, like first-stage Pokemon, with this just beast of a Nidoking with perfect stats.
And Grimer's a tanky Pokemon, right? And you see here that Hwang did so much damage to it. So it's amazing how we struggled with a Rattata, and then we level up and do everything, and we come in here and we do so much damage to a Grimer.
That Voltorb was a 20% range, so one-shotting it is quite unlikely.
Everyone making it through. And Conception, for what happened, he's been doing really good. This manip is even working. I don't have the unfortunate. I think that's an IGT, but I don't do this manip to be able to tell. But even to be able to get this far after dying so unfortunately, it's really hard to do manips like this and focus when you're tilted. So big props to Conception for being able to even make it that far. So you'll be seeing here a backup manip that was developed by _Poi, and it starts here, and then it's going to be doing the exact same thing. So you'll see him now take a different path, and then he's going to be getting a Paris.
He just reset. I guess he might have messed up the entering the game buffer or something.
Yeah, or maybe I didn't see. Maybe hit palette by mistake, and then remember that this is a non-palette manip. So one of the reasons why the color looks different for some of the people is because for this manip,
that's not the right path. You'll probably still get the Paris because I've made that mistake before, but that's not the right path.
Yeah, that path is a little bit different.
That's an IGT.
Well, Fairy. I don't know.
IGT.
If you're taking a different path, though, IGTs become much more common. So,
still though.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate. Whether it's fully luck or some execution in there, it's definitely not what you want to happen after everything.
Also, we saw Hwandbro, talking to the bike shop guy, which might seem kind of silly because we don't have a bike voucher, but you'll see from this text from when he's gonna start fighting the rival that it's a little bit strange.
So yeah, someone in chat, point out what looks weird. Anyone? Anyone at all?
Aside from Zeta's screen.
Ronnie, God, yeah, the pun it's too good. So what's happening here is it's called instant text. And so far, yes, that's really good for Hwandbro here. But so long story short, there's a natural bug in the game that when you talk to this shop salesman, the guy who gives you the bike, when you're able to buy it, even though you don't have the money, if you hit no by pressing B, the game doesn't clear up this flag that is used for the instant text. So this flag is not cleared until some other chunk of code comes along and tries to reset the flag. So
wait a second.
For a while here, we're going to be flying through the game with this instant text. Now, there's some pretty big things you have to know about instant text, including you cannot open up your menu in fight or out of fight, because that's going to reset the instant text flag and get rid of this this natural glitch. So, with all of that in mind, it adds a lot of risk, specifically to PB attempts. Even if you're a new runner, instant text saves so much time that you're going to be getting instant text, and you're so incentivized to not heal, to risk everything, because you're going to be saving so much time with instant text. You never want to lose it.
One of the most unfortunate things about instant text is right after you get it, the very first fight after you get instant text is a bridge rival who has a minimum of 2 chances to use sense attack on you, which is 3/4 accurate, and will lower your accuracy by 1 stage or 1/3. So at that point, your Mega Punch is only like 55% accurate, and your Horn attacks are only 66% accurate. So you're quite likely to die to that fight.
One other really unfortunate thing about instant text is that we use Mega Punch, and playing here got very unlucky. So he was missing Mega Punch on a fight that you wouldn't really take damage on too much normally, but he kept missing and he took too much damage. So now he's at risk of dying. So he's going to come all the way back here, and then he's not going to teach Fight, he's going to Potion, and then he's going to re-get instant text. Instant text saves so much time that's worth it just to go back and get it after you get it out of instant text in some of these fights. So now he's potioned up, he's probably not going to fall into death range again, hopefully.
The select buffer.
So you can just, you can normally just Poison Sting this, and then if you don't crit it, you're able to do that. But,
it's not even 130 HP. It's so bad.
Yeah,
it's actually worth it up until 2 fights, up until after this fight to go back and get instant text to walk all that, just because instant text saves so much time.
So with all that too, Hwang was a little bit ahead of Quay, but because of some poor luck and apparently Mega Punching the Ekans, Quay is able to kind of catch up and now is in the lead.
No, I think he's still 1 fight behind. Is he? Is he in the lead? They have the same Pokemon, it's hard to tell.
Did Zeta save for the rocket fight and then reset?
What
is happening? I saw a save screen. Okay, yeah, that's what happened. He saved, and you normally don't really save unless you're doing a manip in PB attempts. I've done that before. When in a race I've wanted a safety save, and I just hard reset. I'm like, I just lost like 20 seconds. So there's Mankey. Mankey is best Pokemon by far. Everyone throw your Hwandbro emotes out. Woo.
I want to make a small note that Zeta misplayed that a little bit. Even though he had 4 horn attacks, which is just fine, he leered the Rattata, which is not good because if you leer it, you have no chance to 2-shot the Rattata.
Yeah, if you're going to be anything, you want to leer this Zubat, because even though it has a chance to confuse you, as Pinkish said before, in the early game, Rattata is just really bad to deal with. You kind of just want that dead over a Zubat.
Okay, looks like he's through.
He's through. We're not going to get a repeat of Brock now, which is good. So in the back half here, the runners of Quay and Hwang are still in instant text. That's going to be ending here soon, but then they're going to instantly get it again. So one of the things, if you've seen runs pre-instant text or yellow, the run kind of tries to do something a little bit different. They will value getting level 23 as soon as possible, instead of using rare candy in like Moon, and then after we save them to get to level 23 as soon as possible, because we're going to be learning a move. Now, why wouldn't you want to do that with instant text? Well, when you're trying to learn a move, it resets the instant text flag. So this game is now routed to kind of delay that until it's optimal.
Oh my gosh. Conception with 2 sand attacks has to switch out, which loses the instant text as well.
But we can see what he was spelling out. MidFall Speedball, everybody!
Woo! Actually, it might be nice that he lost instant text. I'm gonna have to heal. Well, not nice, but not that bad.
Yeah.
So I wasn't paying attention. But it looks like Hwandbro lost the instant text too.
Yeah, he was low after the Mankey fight and had to repotion again.
Gotcha. Looks like Zeta's said something in chat, meaning that something might have gone wrong.
Probably just some minor things about the run. So, at this point here, Quay is going to be doing the last fight on this route, and he's going to level up to 23 at the end of this fight. So that's where this kind of routing comes into play. So now you level to 23 here, and it's going to try to prompt you to learn the only move that Nidoking learns of Thrash. And Thrash is an amazing move for speedrunning. So we're going to teach that, but that's going to get rid of instant text, but it works out perfectly because we have to talk to Bill in this run. And Bill is going to reset the instant text flag anyways. So
he has no text box, that's why.
Yeah, look at how much routing goes into things like this, keeping instant text as long as possible. We're going to lose it anyways, so we're going to get the move that's going to also get rid of instant text basically at the same time.
Also, Hwandbro missing the 94% Machop range. Nice.
That is so unfortunate.
And you can kind of see how much time instant text saves there. Like, even though Hwandbro did miss that range, Quay also missed a couple Mega Punches, but he's still like let's say like a fight and a half ahead just because he had instant text and Hwandbro didn't.
It's just really, it's really good. And if you ever watch world record attempts, so we haven't talked about it too much, but being in Red Bar also saves you quite a bit of time. And with Red Bar, and instant text, you go insanely fast. So Quay and Hwandbro are really good at instant text buffering too. So long story short, they're not mashing A and B for this text. They're actually timing them within these pretty big windows to buffer every text box frame perfectly. And it's really cool to like see runners do it. But the really skill testing part is the moment you enter red bar, it works the exact same, but it's like 3 times faster. So can you do what you were doing before without missing a single text box, even in red bar? It's really cool.
Instant text buffering in red bar is extremely difficult. First-hand account.
It's so fast though. It's so good when you get it. So Quay is going to be going into the first fight where we're going to be using Thrash. So Thrash is 90 power in Gen 1?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, it's 90 power in Gen 1, and it works a little bit differently for anyone that has played later gens. Instead of only going for 2 or 3 turns, it goes for 3 or 4 turns. So, oh no!
No!
Missed the range.
Also, yeah, Zeta missed the Pidgeotto range.
So much happened here that was unfortunate. Quay's totally fine, but the others here got really unfortunate luck. So, KonceptioN doing the right thing here that you saw Hwandbro do earlier in the run. He's potioning and re-getting instant text.
Yeah, well, according to chat, looks like Zeta didn't even know that a 4-turn bird was possible. No, it's possible, it's just not all that likely. Usually when it's anywhere close to looking like a 4-turn bird, you would just,
You'd Mega Punch.
Yeah, you'd Mega Punch it.
Because Mega Punch will make it guaranteed. There is no natural rolls with double Horn Attack Mega Punch that wouldn't kill.
So on Quay's HP, there is... I don't want to jinx it, but there's no way that he can die unless he gets a Bubble Beam Speedfall or a X Defend.
Or Gen 1 misses.
I'm... Technically, yes. Correct.
Literally, you can do that, like, all across the run, where it's like, oh, this is the only bad thing that can happen. Plus Gen 1 miss.
No!
So, oh no, he got
critical.
Oh, this is so bad. Oh, this is so bad.
Thrash. Just get a 4-turn Thrash.
Oh no!
And Bubble Beam critical. No!
He has the swap. Oh, he swapped the Squirtle. Oh no! Good
so
AI
slow.
mix is really bad.
No, don't tackle.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, that's so
good.
lucky.
That's good.
Squirtle tackle would have killed it.
Okay, so now he can Poison Sting it, or he can Thrash for safety.
He has red bar now, which would be useful, but there's no way that he's not going to heal this.
Yeah, he's going to heal and go get instant text again. But we'll probably see him teach Bubble Beam as well. It's kind of optional. Some runners don't do it. But if he teaches Bubble Beam, it opens up some kind of interesting plays you can do on Boat Rival.
Yeah, something we haven't talked about yet is shake animations versus flash animations. Even though animations are turned off, the moves still do have an animation. Like Bubble Beam, for instance, has a shake animation. It shakes the screen. And moves like Tackle, Horn Attack have a flash animation where like the Pokemon, it like flashes basically. Yeah. For lack of a better term. I believe the shake animation is almost a full second faster. Yeah,
my boy Quay taught Bubble Beam, so we'll be able to talk about it. It's really nice actually. So you'll see how much time that Hwang saved on Misty right there. Quay's still ahead, so luckily RNG didn't completely wreck him. Oh no!
Zeta's confused. He only has 2 potions left.
Oh no, that's so bad.
He's definitely gonna have to take the Pokemon Center for Misty.
Yeah.
No! Don't hit yourself. At this point, I would have just swapped out. Like, he's not even Instant Text anymore. Just swap to something else. But what can you really swap to? I guess he'd... I don't know. No! Don't miss Mega Punch. Oh, also a recent development is there's actually a hidden forest door inside of that tunnel that Quay just exited and Hwandbro just entered. We don't pick it up anymore because forest door is honestly not that great of an item in Gen 1. And there's some substitutes that we can take later, notably paralyze heals, which are a lot better, mostly because if you get paralyzed, your speed is divided. I believe into 2, but it might be into 4.
It's by 2.
Okay, yeah, by 2. And for whatever reason, when you use full restore, it doesn't restore your speed, but a paralyze heal would.
So the reason it does is because of how coding kind of works. So full restore is programmed to heal and then remove status, and it does that, right? But it calls a different line of code if it does the heal and status versus if it just did the status call, in which the status call, when it's removed, will remove the status effect and remove the debuff, but when it heals and removes the status, it doesn't do that third step of removing the debuff. So it's funny because if you're full health and you use a full restore, it actually functions the exact same as a paralyzed heal. It will remove the debuff, but if it heals even 1 HP, you hit a different block of code and then it doesn't work properly.
Also, I think that Zeta might have just Gen 1 missed a horn attack, because I saw that the Nidoran female used Growl while it was at full HP, so that would be his 3rd Gen 1 miss this run, when you expect no more than 1 usually.
Yeah, 1 is like...
Flashbacks to your Sabrina.
Yeah, 1 in the total of the run is like kind of common. I think it's a little bit less than that, but that includes you or your opponent Pokemon. But we attack way more in the run, so it's more likely to be on your turn. But getting 3 in 1 run is very unfortunate.
Yeah, you expect about 1 Gen 1 miss a run. You just hope that it's not in a really bad spot.
He did Gen 1 miss. Wow, Zeta just pulling it out. Oh, too many Gen
I would
1
have a complaint if I were him. Also, to answer an earlier question from I'll just say Patrick, you don't heal because if you were to heal, their text appears instantly. For reasons that Pseudo explained earlier, but basically, if you open up your menu to heal, your text will not be instant anymore, and that wastes a lot of time overall.
We're coming to the end of the instant text kind of era in this game, where to get instant text, you have to talk to the bike dude. And the bike dude also gives you the bike. Instant text is great and saves a lot of time, but bike saves so much more. So you get the bike, and then it works kind of completely normal after that.
Well, also because like even if you didn't want to get the bike, there's no way to exit Cerulean City without opening a menu. You need to use Cut. Like instant text isn't useful pretty much anywhere later because you have to use X items. You have to get on your bicycle. You have to use Cut.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Wang did the right play here. He's swapped. He lost instant text, but it's only for a little bit, so it's not that big of a deal. And now he's able to go back in the trash, and he will kill this Ivysaur in 2 hits, so it works out well.
Yeah, at his HP, if he were to miss his Thrash or Horn attack, he would have been about 1 and 2 to die to the Kadabra, which is way too much for a race. Yeah,
in the tournament that we did, you would see people taking more risks and things like that because winning would kind of benefit you to some degree. In this race, like that's why, like even small risks, I'm like, you shouldn't do it. Basically, that's because it's just a for fun race, right? So we want to mitigate risk in a very RNG heavy game that has a very low finish rate when you're doing PB attempts. And that's just since we're kind of in this low period of the run. That's one thing that is really cool about what happened this year with the tournament. A lot of good runners came out, specifically Wave Warrior, Simstar, and WSOP. They came together and Araya. I can't forget Araya there.
Yeah.
Those 4 kind of looked at this game and they're like, how do we make it fast and safe for a tournament like this? And they found a really good route. The route that exists is now what I would consider the beginner route. And it's It's really good. It's pretty fast. It has safety where needed. Honestly, the worst fight, and hey, we're just at it on someone's screen, is Misty. Because you can't do anything to make Misty safer, really.
Also, I feel kind of bad for Quay here. He's at 21 HP, which is kind of awkward. Surge has 2 Pokemon that can potentially hit you, being his Voltorb and then his Pikachu in that order. His Voltorb has Sonic Boom, which will do 20 damage, like no matter what. Like that's the function of the move. And then Pikachu has Quick Attack, which can hit you. And at 21, Sonic Boom plus Quick Attack would kill him. And he can Thrash the Voltorb, which will make it about a 75% range to die. But if he does that, then he risks a 4-turn Thrash.
Yeah, you can swap out to make it a little bit safer, but really there's no super good way of playing this HP. And Pawn, you're right. I cannot forget the RNG in that run as well. I've seen a bit of it. Does not look fun, and that's coming from a Pokemon runner.
Wait, WSlap got a 145 today. Oh my god. Someone, Shen in chat says WSlap got a 145.39 today. He bopped his Zarion.
What? Huh. Nice! I saw him streaming before, but I didn't realize he was doing red. Wow.
Heck yeah, dude.
That's awesome. So we saw Hwandbro do a manip that is hilarious because it was called 60 out of 60 cans because when it was found a long time ago, everyone basically thought it would work 100% of the time. Turns out getting 100% manip in red is like near impossible because the frame you save on matters, but then also kind of the second you save on matters. So all that coming together means that it has to work in 3,600 events and not just 60. So that manip works on 3,597 out of 3,600. So it has a very good success rate, but you can still get IGT'd.
Yeah, you also see a Quay's on a different palette from Hwandbro. Hwandbro did 58, or so no, he did 60 to 60, sorry. Quay did a manip that lets him change the palette, hence palette cans. He chooses this palette specifically because it'll let him see in Rock Tunnel. Also, Quay just doesn't like the red palette. It is actually 59 out of 60.
Yeah, this manip has a higher success rate than like the standard one you'd see in like a world record attempt. So you kind of get a little bit extra safety in the fact that you're not going to get IGT'd as much. It's slow, but it is really nice. You'll be able to see that in Rock Tunnel, Quay's movement is going to be basically flawless, or at least it should be, because he's able to see, whereas other runners, it'll be kind of dark and they will only see like a little bit.
All of that said, Rock Tunnel movement isn't all that difficult.
It's not, and honestly, the hardest part of that, because the game doesn't have to load a lot, when we fight trainers, you can buffer movement outside of battle. So, long story short, when you be a trainer, you start holding the direction you want to go. But in Rock Tunnel, we still do this, but it's almost instant. The moment the fight officially ends, you basically start moving. So you actually have to remember in there that there's like almost no lag. So the moment the fight ends, you're already moving. So it's kind of easy to take an extra step after like fighting a trainer, for example.
But,
apologies for... Oh, sorry.
Oh no, jump in. Go, George.
Yeah, because I was about to ask if we have a moment.
Oh, go ahead.
We do? Alright.
Oh, well, I was about to ask, well, we have a $5 donation from our Pokemon Black Runner. It says, like the 100 meters at the Olympics, not just the one, there's multiple Olympics going on there. It's time for the race of Pokemon speedruns. Good luck to all the racers.
Fantastic. Thank you. And for anyone who didn't see the Black Run, it was really good. So go check it out. It was really interesting. And then, kind of at this point in the run, we're going to be seeing Thrash used a decent amount. Basically, if we're not going to be fighting anything if we're going to be fighting something that Thrash will kill, we're going to do it. There's one fight that both Hui and Hwang just finished that you can kind of get a little risky on. That trainer has 4, and we Mega Punch the first one, which will kill. So you have a 15% chance of missing. But if you have no Mega Punches, you have to Thrash and hope to either hit through Confusion or get 4-turn Thrash. So it can be a little bit of a scary fight.
Also, the fight that Quay just finished, like just the fight before this, and the fight that Hwandbro just finished, that Venonat is a range like you saw on Quay's screen, so that's why they usually Bubble Beam or Thunderbolt the first Pokemon, even though there's only 3. Just because risking a 4-turn Thrash is almost never the right play. Being confused just is that bad.
Yeah, in this game, that Venonat doesn't really have anything that can damage you too much. In yellow, it knows Confusion, so it's like even worse for that. But right here, after this fight, you're gonna see Quay do one of two things. He has HP that he can Thunderbolt, but
Hwandbro doing the Cubone. That's pretty risky in races.
Oh, he's setting up. So Quay doing the right strat here, I think he is going to more likely than not lead Thunderbolt here on this Oddish. Let's see it before I start explaining it. Yes, he does. So you lead Thunderbolt here. Oh, perfect. That's really good for him. So one strat you can do for this Oddish is you use Thrash turn 1 because it's 50% to kill with crit. But if you don't crit, you're still locked into Thrash, and it can status you. It can put you to sleep. It can paralyze you. And you don't have control of the Nidoking then. So that's really scary. So Quay was pretty high health, so he decided to go into that fight, lead Thunderbolt, and then he still has control of Nidoking, so if he gets put to sleep or something, he could potentially heal and do all that. So that's kind of the safer play with high HP. You're seeing the other safe play that Hwang's doing. So he wants Red Bar for this section to catch up to Quay. So because of that, he
nice
die here, but he gets the range, which is great. So he's safe for this fight. Yep, Bulbasaur's a range.
Way more favorable, but still range.
Yeah, it's 92%, I think. I don't remember.
I've never missed it personally.
Wow, I've missed it 30 times, and I really don't even run. Oh, Hwang is doing the 6 repel strats. I
Very
respect
cool.
it. So every single runner on this race is actually doing a different route. We kind of mentioned how there's like race strats, but one of the really cool things about Red is there's just so many decision points in it that you can have small variations on the route. And yeah, they might lose a few frames here or there, but it's all pretty trivial in the grand scheme of things. So for things like races, if you just like this better, it might lose you a half a second. But if you like it better, if you can do it more consistently, you can do it that way. So every runner's on a different route. It's going to be really interesting to kind of see. And who knows, there might be a small punish for having a bad route here and there. I know that happened in the tournament where someone would like use a route that had one really bad fight. That's not very likely. And guess what happens in the tournament? That one fight goes really poorly.
Like for instance, Conception actually picked up the Forest Door, even though the general route nowadays is to not. We might see someone in that tree that Quay just passed. There is a hidden Max Ether. We might see someone pick that up. There's just so much variation, which is really cool. Because basically before the tournament, like the past year before the tournament, the biggest changes were like some menuing optimizations where you had to change everything to save like 2 seconds over the whole run. So the fact that there's so many different routes that are all pretty much viable is really cool. Also, Quay thrashing Growlithe.
Ah! Okay. Alright, I'm fine with that.
That fight gives Quay and I both PTSD now.
Okay, yeah, that's why I was a little bit scared. Okay, he's fine though. He's a good
Usually
HP.
you would bubble beam that Paralysis because it's more likely to kill, and then you would thrash on the Vulpix. In his tournament race, the very final one, Quay missed the range and then got a critical hit. The very same thing happened to me in a later on a later attempt, but
it also happened to me like 2 days before Quay. It's really unfortunate. So missing ranges can just be death.
I think that play was a little bit motivated by just like fear.
Yeah, it's a totally fine play. He wasn't likely to really die to it. It's just a little bit surprising to see it. So you'll be seeing Quay here and Hwang picking up 2 hidden items. One of them you would see in like a world record route. The other one you wouldn't. It's another hidden nugget. It doesn't take that long to get actually. And with this hidden nugget, we're able to buy a bunch of things. Oh, nice. Top elixir.
If you see bottom nugget, you save some frames.
And there it is.
That was beautiful.
That was good. That was perfect.
Yeah. Okay, so you pick them both up for the purpose of So now he has 29,000 when ordinarily you'd have about 24. You want to buy 2 revives here and an extra super potion just to make everything safer. Like at this point, it's very unlikely to lose a lot of time because you'll have the revives, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, and this was the major
Quay still
thing
bought 3 super potions, even though you buy 4.
He might be doing early drill, or one thing you can do is you just always buy the early drill items, and then that way your menus are always 100% the same.
I'm actually kind of curious to see how losing to Shorts guy affects Conception's money. Probably not that bad because he doesn't have that much at that time. But he might have to buy a couple less X items or something.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting because he didn't make up any extra money, I don't believe.
Hope that he knows to pick up the nugget either way.
Yeah, so let's kind of talk about the shopping a little bit. This is the big shopping trip in the entire run. If you look at any Pokemon speedrun, you saw it in Atina's run before, there's generally one major shopping trip that's done at some place, and that's where you buy your X items, which you see Quay doing here. We're doing a little bit more in red. Yeah, so we do a little bit more in red. We're getting 2 TMs. One of them's Hwandbro. We'll talk about that here very soon. And then we're also going to be getting another TM for Rock Slide. So all this shopping is really tight, which is what me and Pinkish were talking about with when you die, you lose half your money. Conception died early on, so he shouldn't have lost that much money, but he's definitely going to have his shopping impacted. His strat might involve either picking up the nugget if it didn't originally, or maybe only buying 1 revive. It depends how much money you're down.
Well, looks like Wayne's gonna be doing that fun with the PP up skip route, which is that's what he does with the 6 or 4 repels.
Yeah.
What do you think his Koga split's gonna be? My guess is 13.5.
I'm gonna go with 1350. I'm gonna say it doesn't go perfect.
Yeah, that's it might not make sense from like the outside looking in, but Koga's usually like I would say about 14.5 minute split in races. But with this with the route that Hwandbro's doing, it just goes so unbelievably fast.
It's really interesting because like over the entire route, like the route optimizations might only be a couple seconds, right? But where it really matters is certain splits. Certain splits just get like a lot faster, and then you make it up later, kind of. So one thing that like I saw someone ask this not that long ago. They're like, "Oh, how do I adjust the gold splits when I'm like switching routes?" And the answer is you delete the gold split.
You delete your
because you just different routes in Pokemon are just so different that the times just don't ever line up correctly.
Okay, Quay needs to just not get Vine Whip crit here, and then he's good.
And remember, we have those revives, so even if you would die, it's by far not over or anything. It's just unfortunate time loss, but at this point, it's much safer. And he got a great fight there. And let's see if Wang can get another good fight. They have roughly the same HP. Wang is going to level up here and get a little bit more. But in this fight, we're kind of killing these Pokemon in one different route you can do here, which we were kind of thinking that Quay might have done, but he wound up not doing, is you can teach the move Horn Drill and do it on this fight, but you're going to take a little bit more damage at the start. So there's even variations on things like that, where if you're high HP, you should probably teach early drill, because then you get that lower HP. You get back to this red bar that's saving them so much time. And then later on, you do a little bit different fights. There's so much like module decision-making that happens over the course of this run. And one of the things I love about RNG speedrunning, and I wish that more speedrunners would consider it, is yes, it's not super execution heavy. Yes, it may look like that runners just reset over and over again, which they do. But there's a lot of cool routing and decision making that you're not going to get from a different run. Like, we've been talking about this full restore that the runners skip. Well, that doesn't matter until like halfway through the run, right? Like, you have to make decisions now that impact the run like later. It's a very different experience.
Also, so earlier we picked up a soda pop to give to the girl on the roof of the department center. That was to get Rock Slide, which we now use on the Ghastlies. We use it a total of 4 times in the entire run.
And it's 100% worth getting in right. Like, there's no question that you should ever skip Rock Slide.
Are you saying as opposed to... Yeah.
Yeah, because if you don't get Rock Slide and teach it, your best kind of bet is to Thunderbolt them, and they're 2 shots. And these Ghastlies, now Nightshade, which if it's the first 2 is really bad because you're going to die. They know Lick, which has a 30% para chance, and they know Confuse Ray. And that's it. These Ghastlies are terrible.
Yeah, so
actually missing
Rock Slide, I really hate this section of the run overall, because if you can just miss Rock Slide and then your run dies, and it's happened to me twice. Only twice, which is kind of lucky.
Don't ever run yellow, Pinkish. This section is like almost worse in yellow.
What happens in yellow?
Well, same thing, except sometimes you go for Thunderbolt skip. That's actually viable in yellow. I mean, Rock Slide skip.
Yeah, but like on the first fight where you haven't taken the heal pad yet, you just miss and then you get Nightshade and you just go, well, run over. This wouldn't happen to any of our racers because they have the revives, but it's very unforgiving.
So we're going to be seeing something interesting in Clay's stream here. We're going to use Pokédoll on this ghost, and long story short, this lets us do sequence break in the run, but it's not a glitch because the normal code of Pokédoll is ran. It's just how the game interprets that code is kind of weird. So Pokédoll will let you run away from a fight 100%, but it also marks it as a victory, and this game uses that victory flag for the same thing to tell if you've dealt with this ghost with the Sylph skill. So it's just kind of how they naturally coded it. It's this weird kind of event, but it is allowed for the speedrun. And this allows us to skip. In Classic, I think it's about 9 or 10 minutes segment of the run, where you go to the underground.
Or less than that, rather.
I ran it at one point. I think it's like 9, but I don't remember.
I mean, I'm just comparing the world records from Classic. There's just no way that the rest of Classic only loses 2 minutes to the world record.
I have no idea.
This is a little off topic, but I was looking in the Discord. Apparently, WSOP's 145 didn't have Lance or Champion Red Bar. It's really sad because it would have been world record with that, and WSOP's one of my favorite runners in this game, and I wanted to have the record.
WSOP is very talented, very helpful to everyone, and that's a really good run. I kind of like how so there's another runner that Wave Warriors. Oh, he's
What
doing
about his witness? That's really odd buying.
No, he's doing the route that existed before the tournament started. That was the route where you get 5 speeds and only 2 special.
It
So
just
he's
feels
doing
weird looking from it now, though.
Oh, it's definitely different and definitely weird. I started with that route too when I was like preparing for the tournament, and then I realized, wow, X specials are just better. Like because the different routes were coming out, and I decided to learn them, and I'm like, I'm never going back. This is great.
CMDR asks, when do we talk about the most important thing, YOLO drill?
Yellow drilling, man. Yellow drilling is so we haven't really seen it too much. We're gonna talk about horn drill more in the next fight. We've already seen it once, but horn drill is a move that in Gen 1, how it works is the requirements are you have to be faster than the opponent. It's not like level like it is in Gen 2 and above. And you have to hit a 30% because the move is only 30% accurate. But we have a way around that, in which you'll see. And it works out very nicely that in this game, horn drill works off of speed. Because if it worked off of yellow, we would still, like in this section of the run, still use horn drill. But the late part of the run would be completely different.
Yeah, because, like for instance, the Elite Four of Pokemon in like the high 50s and 60s when your Nidoking is only in like the low to mid 60s. So you'd have to play the entire endgame so much differently.
It's really sweet. It's really bonkers how this small change from later generations, if it worked in here, would just be completely different. And along with like kind of that mentality. So in Pokemon speedruns, like we get very powerful in the like late or early game to the mid game because we're pumping all this experience into one Pokemon. But it definitely comes back to bite you near the end when we have skipped a lot of trainers that like the developers intended you to fight, right? And that kind of catches up to you. You only have one Pokemon, and you're fighting like the E4, so it would just be so different. That happens all over the place.
I also like it when people say like, "Oh, Gen 1's X accuracy has to be bugged. That's a glitch. There's no way it was intended to do that." But it's not a bug. It was intended because it works the exact same way in Gen 2.
Yeah. So we'll talk about this now because it'll fight that Quay's going to do here in a little bit. But X accuracies actually doesn't have stages the same way as in later games. Sand attack still works off of staging, but X attacks don't up your accuracy stage. For whatever reason, they decided to make them very expensive, but completely remove the accuracy check. So with an X accuracy up, you will never even roll accuracy, which will also remove things like Gen 1 misses. You will always hit. And that's where horn drill comes in and becomes a really good move for speedrunners. Because, like I said, the only criteria are you need to be faster, and it's not based off of base speed, it's based off of your actual speed. And we have a Nidoran who's been bumped a ton of experience. So he's pretty fast right now. But like we're in the section of the run where we're actually kind of low level. You're not supposed to be at Sylph for a while. Now, okay, cool, we can use an X accuracy to always hit. Well, there's a thing called an X speed. So we're going to see this on Clay's stream here. We're going to X accuracy turn 1. And then he's going to potentially swap something down and then use an X speed. One thing also we're going to talk about a lot this split is we want to take damage here, and that will be happening a decent amount. So now we've X accuracy, X speeded. He's going to be faster than every single Pokemon. So horn drill will always kill. It's now 100% accurate, and because this game was routed a certain way, with one single X speed, we know we're faster than the rest of the Pokemon, so they will all die.
Yeah, after an X speed, where we use them, there is no Pokemon in the entire game that will outspeed you, basically. Like, we'll always be moving first when we have to.
Yeah, you can even extrapolate that out to whenever we drill. This game was rotted so particularly that at one point you'll see when Quay hits Sabrina. Sabrina is a scary Pokemon for a Nidoking because it can basically one-shot you, right? Well, Sabrina is so particular that if you swapped one trainer for another in this route, Sabrina would actually outspeed you. Because in this game, the EVs of this game, which is called Stat XP, would be off because we have exactly one speed more than Sabrina, which means we outspeed it. Which is just insane that this run is so particular. It comes down to Stat XP at one point.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, if you like look at the route and think, "Oh, I can optimize this," you really have to take into account everything, like the stat XP and where you're really going to trade like safety for time. Because because there might be a couple places where you could save some time doing something else, but if that affects your stat XP for somewhere else, then you just have to scrap that.
Every single new runner will like start learning this run, and like it's really, some things are just so obtuse and like not obvious that you're like, oh, why don't we do it this way? And then like routers will come in and like write paragraphs of why we can't do that. Like, oh no, we have to do this because otherwise you get outsped and all that. There's so much that goes into routing.
Wait, did we just miss Hwang doing Sylph Bar? He's at 31 health. Wait, chat, did he do Sylph Bar or did he get like double crit or something?
Hwang, oh no. I don't know. I have no idea. I feel like Hwang is someone who would do Sylph Bar though.
You were deep in that pseudo commentary. Yeah, I've raced him and crafted it, and I can tell you that he would absolutely Sylph Bar in a race. We all did Sylph Bar that race.
So doing Sylph Bar in a race. So what is Sylph Bar? Okay, long story short, and too bad we can't tell you if he did it for sure, but I'm 90% confident that's what he did. Long story short, Sylph Bar is you let the Gyarados hit you, and the reason is you get put in a red bar. But now there's quite a few Pokemon, I think 3, that we basically give 3 turns on average.
This could be good, actually.
Kill you. So Fury Attack didn't crit, so we're good. But he has to get past 1 more Pokemon.
Okay, that's slow, but it's good for red bar.
It's really good for red bar, but he does have another kill point before Koga.
At this HP, he'll be 1 in 4 to die. He went to okay, that's really high HP to live on. So he did do Sylph Bar. He went to full for Gyarados and then lived it on 20 seconds. And then you level up twice in that fight, so he was at like 31.
That is really, really bad roll from Gyarados. You want Gyarados to roll high, so
but not too high.
Yeah, not too high because you don't want to die. But you want it to do a lot of damage to you because then you're expecting to take no more damage. But unfortunately, he got a really low roll, which like seems counterintuitive. It's like, cool, you live, but he wants this red bar. So after you fight Giovanni here, we're going to be going backwards up to the 10th floor to get 2 items. One of them is the Earthquake TM, and one is a rare candy. But really, we just care about this Earthquake TM. Earthquake is insane, right? Anyone who's played Pokemon knows how good Earthquake is. And in Gen 1, they stuck in the building somewhere. One of the reasons we come here is entirely to get Earthquake. That's one of the reasons why you go to Sylph Co when you do. Because it's just that good. It's insane that in this game you can just pick it up. In a lot of the later games, Earthquake you have to like beat a gym for to get it.
Also, small note, Hwandbro accidentally went to the wrong floor and then just took the stairs to the next floor. Taking the elevator is really slow, so he wouldn't just like scroll down to 10 again.
Yeah, so with the YOLO scroll there, it actually doesn't lose too much time to just like walk up the stairs. It's not that bad, but it's definitely one of those things. It's like, that's a mistake. And one of the cool route changes we're seeing here is Hwang has more normal repels than Quay does. So the next 2 times that Quay would repel, including this one, Hwang is actually just going to use a normal repel. long story short, again, repels are slightly faster to use, and we don't need a repel for that long. This repel is solely for this grass here, so we can get this rare candy. So instead of using a super repel, Hwandbro's route is using a repel which has less characters and less lag, so it's a little faster.
He's also not going to pick up the PP up that Quay picked up, which will cause some differences, but a lot more in the late game than right now. I mean, at this point, there's just not a whole lot to talk about.
Well, we're going to be going into the Safari Zone and doing something that all casual players should really hate us for. Quelagging right now has a repel up. We're going through the Safari Zone with a repel. I'm sorry, everyone. We're just going to throw away $500 not to even catch a single Pokemon. So, in that menu there, they taught Earthquake. So now they have Earthquake, and it's going to be very helpful because the next gym they're going to go to is Koga, which is Poison, and Earth is good against Poison.
The main reason that the only reason that we really go to the Safari Zone is because we need it to pick up the HM for Surf and the item, which we can then exchange for the HM for Strength, both of which are mandatory to complete the game.
So, yeah, it's really unfortunate, but why are we coming here right now? It's kind of because Gen 1 also has another interesting mechanic that other gens have, but it's not as extreme. In Gen 1, you can only hold 20 items in your bag, right? And every gym leader will try to hand you a TM. So the reason we come here when we do is, right now, this item that Quay is getting is item 20. So this is routed in the sense that no, he doesn't have room.
Also, another reason that we come here is he didn't toss Pokeball. That's why.
He didn't toss Pokeballs. You're right.
So another reason that we come here when we do is because when you go to a town, that you are then able to fly to that town later. And so right after we get out of here, we're gonna take on Koga's gym, which is in Fuchsia, which we just entered. So if we did this later, we wouldn't be able to fly here. It just all sort of comes full circle. Yeah,
so now we have a full bag, and you're gonna instantly dig out and then fly back to Fuchsia City. And now, God, Hwang and Quay are back to back, but you're gonna see exactly how much time Red Bar saves. Because
provided he doesn't die to Hypno.
Yeah. Well, even in this fight, right? I think Hwang is going to lead this fight ahead of Quay.
Oh, also Zeta did Sylph Bar as well.
Wow. So we're getting a lot of Sylph Bars in here.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. I assumed he was farther than he was. He did Heal Pad skip then. Either that or got some really, really bad luck.
It's amazing.
He was on a rocket who had a Drowsy. My brain just went to Sylph Bar.
It's really hard to watch 4 races at once and not miss anything. So feel free to yell at us in chat. We'll take no offense to it. We want to know.
It's especially difficult when there's so much separation. Like 2 of them are on one fight, then one of them is in Sylphco, and then one of them's still in the Lavender Tower.
So this is how much time Red Bar saves. Quay was a decent amount ahead of Hwang going into that fight, and now look at the difference. It's so much time.
Well,
so
Hwang is over 1 in 4 to die here, though.
Yeah, and we do have Revive, so it's not as bad. And Revive will give him good HP for Koga, but it's still super scary.
Yeah, this Hypno is the main reason that Sylph Bar is not very good in races.
Oh, Quay's doing a strat.
Nice! Crit the Hypno.
Oh, that's so good for Hwang. But Quay did a strat that's really cool as well. Oh, there's so much to talk about. But, so Quay's route still gets that PP up. So what he does, and why he bought the X accuracy that's normally used for early drill, he uses it here. So he can set up on the Drowsy, and then he can horn drill the Hypno. Because he had exactly 1 horn drill after PPing up.
No, he did. On this route, I don't think he's used his PP up yet, has he? I'm
Yeah,
pretty
he
sure I saw 5.
Did he?
No, I think that he actually bubble beamed the. I'm pretty sure that he bubble beamed the Marowak trying to take damage there, and then save the Hornrill there. Yeah, he only has 5 Hornrills. Yeah,
Well,
traditionally on the newer routes, you use the PP up for bag space later. Oh, exit attack on the Weezing is not very lucky. You want to die to this because then he'll kill you, but since you still have other Pokemon, you win the fight. And then you revive your Nidoking with low health because you use rare candies. And when you're at low health, you get Red Bar. And this consistent setup of Red Bar will give you Red Bar all the way until Bruno.
Yeah, so this strat is pretty cool because now that you're dead, earlier generations of Pokemon, and I think this works up until like Gen 6 or something, you can use a rare candy in a dead Pokemon, and it will actually revive you. Because your max HP goes up, and they give you HP. So we use these rare candies, and now we're at 10 health. So we're alive, we have Red Bar, and for the basically until the E4, there's not too much scary things that can happen. And if we do, since it's a race, we're going to save for them or deal with them in our own way. So we just have Red Bar until past Bruno, right before Agatha.
Yeah, what's interesting is that in this giant section of Red Bar, there's very, very little risk, which is the main reason why we set up Red Bar for it. Like, in some of the sections where there would be risk, yeah, you can either manipulate the AI with Nidoking's typing, or just, like, save, basically. There is one fight that we'll see everyone saving for.
Yeah. There's... Oh, go for it.
That's my favorite thing about Red, honestly. Like, the fact that very specific fights are so dangerous. Like the Black Belt before Giovanni, we save for, but Giovanni is free.
Yeah,
it's just so opposite from a casual playthrough.
It really is, where gym leaders aren't scary. Like, I mentioned before that Sabrina was, like, should, like, wreck us, right? But we're just fast enough to one-shot all of her Pokemon.
Very, very cool.
So...
the worst fight in the run is a gym leader, but that's only one.
Yeah, and that's Misty, basically. And
there's only a couple of gym leaders that are actually all that bad, and it's Brock and Misty.
Yeah, and Misty's really the only worst from a race context, because we can't save for her because of IT. So it's not worth it to save before her. If you die, you just go back to the center and refight her. But that loses a ton of time. So the item they're getting here, and they're going to teach the final HMs here to Squirtle. We taught it Strength and Surf. But the final item we're getting is for Blizzard. Now Blizzard, once again, is more powerful in Gen 1. So it is 90% accurate instead of 80, and I think it has the same power. But correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's 140 base power.
Okay, so Blizzard is pretty good in Gen 1.
Wait, did I say 140? Sorry, 120. I'm silly.
Yeah, 120.
It's 110 in later generations.
It's still really good. But the most important part is that it's 90% accurate. In the rest of the run, we're going to be using Blizzard in some cases without X accuracies up. It's safe in Red because most of the time we do it, it's because we can't die, and we'll explain that when we get to it. But Blizzard just works out really well. And for whatever reason, Nidoking can learn Blizzard. Nidoking's moveset in Gen 1, it makes no sense, and I love it so much.
Yeah, even though it's 90% accurate, I believe in every single place that we use Blizzard, it's not like a big problem if we miss. There actually is one place on Hwandbro's route that would be a problem, but I'm almost certain he's going to use an X accuracy for that, and we'll talk about that when we come to it. It's in about 20 minutes.
So, up till this point, all the runners have kind of been, like, you know, doing their own thing. We've been doing story stuff. Well, Playing and Quay here beat a gym leader, right? And now they're going directly to another. This is the segment of the game where it's just gym after gym. So we're fighting Erica now. Hey, Erica, remember her? We skip her because we want Blizzard. We don't have a move that can effectively fight her when we first come to the gym. And this is really the major power spike from a casual playthrough. Erica's actually pretty strong for level-wise when you first come here. So being able to put her off and get a better move is just nice. It'd be nicer than, like, two-shotting all of her Pokemon. And then after Erica, we're going to go basically to 3 gyms back-to-back, and then we're going to go hit the E4. So we kind of wrap up the story kind of all together, and then do some small things, and then it's just gym after gym.
Mini blinder, there are no spinners in Gen 1. That's not a spinner. You have to, like, talk to him.
Oh, the zero range spinners. Yeah, so there's a couple trainers, I think 2, in this game that you can fight, but they spin around. And long story short, I know I've said that a lot, but you'll see that after you beat trainers, they start spinning around. No one really knows for sure why they decided to do this, but the NPCs are coded to face a certain direction, and some of them spin, but then they have 0 range. These trainers, like, stuck a certain way. After you fight them, they turn to basically normal NPCs with talking, which turns on their, like, spinning mechanic, which could be a hint at like that this game originally was supposed to have, like, spinners, or it could be the fact that, you know, they just thought it was easier to basically set the trainer to just a normal NPC that would turn.
Yeah, you see KonceptioN saving for this fight because he, on his route, did not pick up any revives. Like, usually at this point you wouldn't really need to save for any fights, because, like, you're not in a red bar, so it's not like you're really gaining anything by not using a revive.
I think the revive skip also came from the fact that he died because he could buy all the items he normally could. So I think he had to skip the 1 revive that this route would have gotten before.
I'm also kind of disagree with the... Well, how much does Confusion do? No, Confusion would have killed him. That was the right call.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's a range 2. It's a range 2, and there's no point in risking it.
I think the max it can do is 50. But anyways, we're into the best part of Pokemon Red, Lag City. And for whatever reason, Blaine's gym has so much lag, it's insane. After you press this, Quay looks like he stands there for, like, you know, a second and a half wondering what to do. No, you just can't move.
Side candy!
Woo!
Turn to Super Potion. Quirk in the AI, Blaine can Super Potion his Pokemon at full HP. Because he has a certain level of priority for item use.
Yeah, AI in this game is actually really spelled out. It's kind of nice. So there's, like, general AI and then special AI for gym leaders and things like that. That's what allows, like, Misty to X-Defend. And they just have certain priority and they roll a number and decide their action. And like Pingish said, Blaine, for some reason, his priority has it that he can Super Potion at full health. And once again, turn 2 Super Potion. Both runners got it.
Yeah, so there's, I believe, 3 main different kinds of AI. There's normal AI, which is a trainer is, it takes all of its move, or they take all of their moves and then just, like, flip a dice to figure out which one they use. Like, if they have 3 moves, they're 1 in 3 to use any move. There's good AI, which is they will only use moves that are of a type that are super effective against the Pokemon that they are against. And then there's special AI, which is insert number here to use an item, like a potion or an X item.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've looked at it, but I'm fairly certain special AIs are basically built off of good AI. So even if there's like Misty, for example, she has the chance to X-Defend. She will still always use water moves against the ground type. So, like, you can think of special AI as good AI with extra steps.
Yeah, we have also, what was I gonna say? Yeah, also, in the good AI, they also won't use moves that are not very effective. So, like, if you send in your Squirtle on Misty, she will only go for Tackle on it, but,
Or Harden.
it doesn't have Harden in Gen 1. I'm almost certain.
No, it definitely can Harden, because that's the reason why you should send out the bird instead of Squirtle, because you...
Checking Bulbapedia. Nope, doesn't have Harden. It doesn't yellow though. Not in Gen 1. Or sorry, not in red.
Why am I allowed here if I just like you?
I mean, you're a yellow runner.
So half the time I say something, and I'm like, I'm sure, and then someone tells me I'm wrong, I wait for them to tell me it's in that way in yellow, and I'm like, ah, I see. Well, why do they gotta make it so different, Pinkish? Why can't they just make it the same and make my life easy?
Because New Zealand would rule the world then.
Alright, anyways, back to the round. So, Sabrina would be a scary fight, but we outspeed everything. And Hwandbro here is going into the final
Trying to say that Sabrina doesn't scare you? I'm
I'm
pretty sure Sabrina scares you.
Sure it doesn't scare anyone else. But Hwang here is going to be going into one of the worst fights in the game, and I'm not even...
He'll be saving for it, by the way.
Yeah,
like, only... What's the last fight he even saved for?
Lance?
Rocket?
Oh, the last one he did.
Oh
yeah.
no, he saved for Oddish guy.
Yeah.
You're like 1 in 7 to die to him, so definitely worth saving in a race, and it makes your life so terrible for PB attempts. He has Karate Chop, which is 70% to critical, and he has Low Kick. Everything else is fine. Low Kick isn't a high critical move, but it still can critical.
So
Yeah, he also has Leer and Focus Energy, and the trainer can use an X attack on him, all of which are fine.
So, one interesting thing about that is, though, that he didn't take damage where he wanted some. He's gonna level out of Red Bar at the end of Bruno. It's not a big deal.
Unless he gets Rage or Slam.
Yeah.
Or Rock Through even. So
Yeah,
he can level out, basically.
Yeah, if he takes no more damage, he's gonna level up out of Red Bar, but it only loses a little bit of time. Oh no, Quay got Karate Chop crit.
Very unlucky.
It's very
Even if you get
unlucky.
Karate Chop, it's only... You're still 30% to live at that point. But it seems like it always crits.
Yeah, I've never lived it.
Neither have I.
So this is one of like the most annoying parts, this and Lance, because it's kind of like Misty in the race sense that we can't really make it safer than this. We have these revives, right? But it's actually faster to just load your save and go for it again because
Well,
of
depends on how much you die.
Red Bar saves.
Low Kick there is really good.
Yeah,
For the
so
reason that
he will-
Suda just explained.
Yeah, he will definitely have Red Bar the entire time, and the only thing that can kill him later because he took damage here is a Slam crit. But I think Slam crit.
But
would
that can kill you anyway. So
Yeah,
it doesn't make a
that's what I
difference.
So yeah, it's just really good to take some damage there.
It's refaked. Machoke's base speed is not greater than 65. I need to look at this, but I'm pretty sure it's not.
I don't remember his crit, right?
Machoke, 45 base speed. I win.
Congratulations, Pinkish. I don't remember the base speed of it. I
I don't know
remember-
either. I have an app on my phone.
But yeah, how crit heavy moves work in this gen, it really sucks. It just takes your base speed, multiplies it by 8, and then it's the normal divide by 512. So certain Pokemon, just if they have a high crit move, they just always crit.
Persian is a good example.
Yeah.
Venusaur, any Pokemon with speed greater than or equal to 64. But also, you can Gen 1 miss a critical for the exact same reason that you can Gen 1 miss a move. I've seen it happen to Gunner Maniac before, but it's the same 1 in 256 chance.
Yeah, and the reason that works is because the nerd in me wants to explain it. It hits the same code block, basically. So they wrote code to, like, roll certainty, which is, like, accuracy and critical chance. So they just call the same code block for critical hit and accuracy. So they have the same bug in it, basically.
Also, we need this Nidoking to not critical on the Venusaur. Usually, on PV up routes, you would just horn drill the Venusaur and you can't even critical hit it. But on this route, you go for Blizzard on it because you don't have a PP up at all. Oh no, he's...
Yeah. So you have to worry about if you don't X accuracy, like he X accuracy, so it's fine. You have to worry about Blizzard missing and Blizzard critting. Now let's see if he gets the really bad luck.
Rate is just under 17%.
And we're
critical,
good.
but still killed. All right.
Oh,
that was some muck ass.
I don't remember how good crit's range was. Did you say it before? I don't remember.
No, I didn't. I just said that crit isn't. I just know that crit isn't guaranteed to kill.
I'm pretty sure it's like barely favored. So I'm gonna throw the commentator guess out there. I think I remember it's like 55% to kill. So it's not very likely. So this is my favorite victory road in any game, just because I love when you have to like pass these checkpoints. As a kid, this was like such a cool experience. And I think a couple games did the same thing where you had to like walk past and check your badges, but not all of them. So any game that does that, I love it.
I think that Quay's on a more standard thing where since you have 6 horn drills, you can use 1 and still have 5 for Lorelei in the next fight, and so you don't have to use a PP healing item or like heal or whatever in between. And you don't have to worry about Venusaur ranges or anything because you can just horn drill it.
Yeah, and that's only possible in the routes where you get the PP up, whereas Wayne doesn't, so he only has 5 horn drills. You could, in theory, horn drill the Venusaur, because you can save a horn drill on Lorelei, but that would just be worse overall, so I don't think anyone would ever do it. The only time
Lorelei has a Jinx that you can go for Earthquake on, but it's only a 75% range, which is actually... And it's the flash animation that we talked about earlier. It's just objectively worse.
Who's leading? So Hwang is leading by, I would guess, about 35 seconds. But Quay is not that far behind.
Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe more. The main reason why Quay fell behind is because on a fight that they had a 1 in 7 chance to die to, Quay died to it. So that lost about 40 seconds. They were neck and neck before that. Yeah, it's way more than that. Quay is probably, what, a minute and 10 seconds?
And this is some pretty important, or not important, but this is some pretty tough movement here from Hwandbro. If he takes, is it more than 1 or just 1?
So you get 1 step and 1 extra turn for it.
Yeah, if you take more than 1 extra step, your repel will wear out early, and it's tough to like move perfectly for that long, especially on the bicycle. Oh no!
Oh no!
I've done that before in a. Well, now his repel's definitely gonna wear out early.
Oh, Hwang! I think he was trying to swag boulder. Wait, no, you
can't swag boulder looking up.
I don't. Oh, I don't know. I don't know why.
Maybe he just made a mistake.
Heck yeah. It's not the end of the world. He's not going to get encounters. He's just going to have to do a double menu, basically. So he's going to have to menu sooner so he gets his repel back. And then he's going to have to menu again because he's going to have to fall through a hole here, and they'll take you off the bike, and he has to use strength again anyways. So
Enderborn... Sorry. Enderborn, he pushed the the boulder one extra tile, which means that he couldn't complete the puzzle unless he reloaded the area.
So a small mistake is going to lose him a D. So right around here, he's going to open up his menu and super repel again, or he's going to YOLO.
No, definitely not. That much tiles,
No?
it's not worth it.
What? Why didn't he repel earlier?
Maybe he didn't know the exact tile. Maybe he thought he had more
Wang.
time.
Wang, come on, man. I'm just joking.
Yeah,
so now, he'll probably do some swag boulders. Yeah, so that's a swag boulder. So, when you're turning here, you can buffer a movement. It's the same kind of concept as like Manip's movement and buffering inputs. So he's able to
One more.
turn
Nice.
and then get this particle effect to turn with him.
No forest door, I like it.
If you're Hwandbro, I totally get not grabbing the forest door. If you're Quay, I think it might be more worth it to get it.
So in PB attempts, you would see him depositing 2 of his Pokemon here, like his Squirtle and his Paris, most likely. But here, he actually doesn't, because he wants to have the Pokemon in case he dies, because he still has 2 revives.
Yeah, basically the 2 extra Pokemon he's bringing in pair with his 2 revives. So the reason we only want 2 revives, we could pick up more, is we only have 2 Pokemon to play around with in the late game. You can't revive if you don't have a Pokemon to throw out. So it's honestly just worth it to, if you have to, bring both Pokemon in. Even if you have 1 revive left, you still bring all your Pokemon in, because having that safety is good.
Yeah, it's not worth it to deposit just 1 Pokemon. And this is an interesting tidbit of the special AI that we talked about. Lorelei has some AI that says if it's super effective and it's turn 2 and it's Lorelei's Dugong, then use Rest. So we swap into the Pidgey turn 1 to tank the Aurora Beam, because the AI cheats, sees that it's a flying type, and then uses the Ice move as a result. You swap back in your Nidoking, and it sees that line of code, or not really line of code, but line of AI, and goes, okay, we'll use Rest. And so Lorelei is 99.6 to go perfectly as a result, because it technically can Gen 1 miss you with the Aurora Beam, in which case you're in trouble, but that's very unlikely.
Yeah, and to build off of what Pinkus said, swapping to the bird is needed there, because the Dugong, you can see on Quay's stream here, so this Pidgey is weak to Aurora Beam, which is Ice. None of the other moves are super effective, so unless you Gen 1 miss, like Pinkus said, that bird will 100% die on turn 1, and then turn 2, it will always be Rest Fail, which gets us the free turn of setup, which this is the only reason why Red Bar E4 works out so well. If you had to go through Lorelei, normally you would have to be like pretty high health at the start, so you'd have to potion beforehand and get to a good HP, so that hopefully you get back knockdown into Red Bar. So special AI here really helps us out.
Yeah, if is there a backup to Lorelei missing? No.
Well,
I mean, I guess you could, like, you could...
What I would do is, you would, heal the Nidoking, hope that she kills the Pidgey, and then...
You'd still go for Aurora Beam.
Yeah, but you hope that she kills it then, and then, cool, you throw Nidoking out, and then you should be able to tank an Aurora Beam, and you just X-attack that turn.
X accuracy.
Yeah. So it should work. It's the same like logic you would do if you were completely skipped.
Ooh, Agatha Candy. This is a fun thing to talk about. So we talked about badge boosting a lot earlier, and about how if you change one of your other stats, then, or if one of your stats is changed, then that badge boost will be applied. He rare candies in front of Agatha so that he levels up at the very end of Agatha, because leveling up actually gets rid of all of your badge boosts. So he uses an X special there, and now he outspeeds all of Agatha's Pokemon. So all they have to worry about is potentially missing this Golbat with Blizzard.
Missing this Blizzard is the most tilting thing ever, and it didn't happen. Because this Golbat knows a move called Haze, and it can confuse you. Confusion's bad, obviously, but Haze is almost more annoying because it'll get rid of your X speed and your rest of your badge boost. So you have to reset up, and it's just really annoying.
Fortunately, it didn't happen though.
Yeah.
It also lets you do another fun strat on champion. We'll talk about it a little bit more when we get there, but basically it before Sky Attack turn 1 would be almost certainly a death sentence, and now it's pretty likely that you live it.
And it goes back to that full restore we were talking about. If this new route didn't have that, almost every single run in the tourney would pick up full restore or save for final rival. You would do one of the two. But because of this route that Pink is just talking about, you skip the route. Sorry, you skip the full restore way more than you normally would because of this Sky Attack strat that we're talking about.
Quay got confused, Ray, so he's confused.
He's still confused, and on that goal bet I was talking about that can haze. Oh, okay, that's the one you really care about. You really want to hit that goal bet. Obviously, the rest of these are still bad, and you can still die, but that's good at least. Hit himself.
Ooh, he's dead to a nightshade here.
Good, good.
Okay, withdraw. Come on, snap out. Nice, nice. Andy's in red bar, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. Let me do the math. 35, 171. Yes, he is in red bar for now. No, the level up.
That's good. Oh,
did he get? Wow. Looks like he got critical.
Yeah. So that's really unfortunate.
Hyper beam. No, that's another thing about Gem 1. If an enemy kills your Pokemon with Hyper beam or kills a substitute, it doesn't recharge.
So guess what? Hwang went for the strat that he loves, and
did he YOLO Lance again?
Thunderbolt. He led Thunderbolt.
So he did YOLO Lance again.
Well, yes. It's not really YOLO. So long story short, because he has full revives going into Lance, there's a strat that has like 99% to work. But on average, you don't save time, but the top end is insanely high. So you're likely to get through, but I think you lose time on average. But if you get it, if you crit that Gyarados, it feels so good.
You can also paralyze it. You can also paralyze it, and then it gets fully paralyzed, which is 5%. Or it can miss Hydro Pump. I actually calculated the odds of lead Thunderbolt working. It's not that good.
It's not good, but one weird thing you can do is because the AI...
Oh! Zeta with the Karate Chop no crit. It happened.
Nice. That's awesome. But one thing that, because the AI cheats too, Lance checks for his health basically after your move. And so it's like the AI makes its move after you do. So Lance realizes that he's low health, and he can actually Super Potion. And then you can basically get another shot Thunderbolting.
If this run beats my PEB, I'm gonna be very sad.
Which one?
Any of them. Like, not to be mean, but like I'm just so much better than this.
You'll get it, Pinkish. I don't know. I
think 2030.
Still 15107 or something.
What? 15206. Yeah, it's terrible.
No, mine on the leaderboard, right? Because I'm not gonna say long story short. When we were
made fun of you for that.
GG, Hwandbro made it through. Anyway, so Hwang is gonna finish here, but
I think Thunderbolt scared us here.
Yeah, my PB has technically the flash cart, because I practiced on the flash cart, but I did a full run on a flash cart, and I got a 15107, I think. But that's with race strats. I've never really finished a PB attempt.
See, does Quay get through? Wing attack, that can't kill from that HP. It's 18 to 22.
He's good.
Nice.
GG to both these guys. That's insane.
Good run.
Oh, they did so good. This was a really entertaining run to watch on it, honestly. So I'm really happy. Like it's really unfortunate what happened to Conception early on. It lost him a lot of time, and then Zeta getting bodied by Brock. So it's really hard to finish a run like that.
It's like when something 15 minutes into the run just can. It's like a switch. You're just tilted after that. You don't want to play. Because who wants to play through like dying to getting a critical hit that you couldn't have seen coming?
Yeah.
It
Dying
won't beat my PB. I'm happy.
Okay, good. Dying to RNG is something that Quay definitely knows a lot about. So in this tourney that we had not that long ago, he never had a deathless run, and I want it on the record. He still does not have a deathless race/marathon red record because he died to black belt. So it will continue.
Poor guy. So I don't know what the exact time for Hwandbro is, but it's in the low 152 range.
An IGT time of 149 is really good for a race. So in these runs, we time RTA from new game to the
first white frame in the Hall of Fame sequence.
Yeah, so you have like a really clean stop and a really clean start. But runs used to be done on in-game time. So the nice thing is you can always look at your in-game time in races and see how well you kind of executed to some degree and how much you lost. Because if you died a lot, you could even see like an IGT time of 148, and then you know that like, wow, I executed really well. I just got really unlucky.
So 152.01 for Hwandbro. That's very, very solid for a race.
Yep, I'm gonna start bringing in some of the runners.
Nice.
Do you want me to move him in?
I got Hwandbro. I'm trying to figure out if Quay wants to join as well.
Quay is not in the VC right now, but...
Okay. Hello, Hwang.
Yo, yo, yo. What's up?
Congrats on your win.
Thank you.
I'm very mad at you.
Why are you mad at me, Pseudo?
Because you did self-bar.
Okay, here's my reasoning for that.
Uh-huh.
I autopiloted during the Arbok fight and used X-Accuracy Drill.
Oh, yeah,
So-
okay.
So my thinking was, okay, if I take any damage at all, I'll just take the time loss and just take 2 turns on Growlithe, which is just no Sylph bar.
Mm.
But then I ended up taking no damage from Arbok or Pidgeot, so I decided there's no better situation than now to at least try and see what happens.
That's awesome.
And then it worked out.
And
But it also got a really low roll, so it almost didn't even put you in red bar.
Yeah, but I mean that's preferable than dying, so I'll take it.
Agree.
Also,
then you got 5-turn Fury attack.
after Fury attack, the perfect red bar was pretty funny too.
Yeah. Oh. Because, yeah, that was perfect red bar, right? Because that was out of headbutt range, right?
Yeah, I think I would have lived headbutt, and then I kept it all the way to 40, so it was pretty good.
That's so good.
What's Quay doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna message him and see if he wants to.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think other
He's
than
doing a light
my
show.
my bridge split, this was a pretty lucky run for me, so I have no complaints. But my bridge was pretty sad.
Everyone's bridge, like, I think I saw a total of maybe 10 times going back for instant attacks.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
There was a point where, like, Conception was, like, missing, he would like, miss Mega Punch, get confused, hit himself, use a potion, miss Mega Punch, get confused.
Yeah, and then, oh my god, Zeta during his Brock fights, I heard he Gen 1 missed Bubble twice or something?
Yeah,
Like,
he did. Then he Gen 1 missed a Horn Attack later.
oh my goodness.
I'm getting Quay here. He'll be here in a moment.
Was Quay's only death the black belt?
Yeah.
Oh, he's so close to deathless.
Yeah, I was talking about that before. Like, even in this, he's not deathless. All right, I'm gonna move him now. Oh, he's already here. Hello, Quay.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Quay? GG's.
Yeah,
I'm
that was
sorry.
good, man.
You still didn't get deathless. I'm sorry.
I forgot my route for a second, so I thought I had to forgot because I had my own route for races, and I forgot I got the Pokeballs.
Oh yeah, I
about
saw
that.
that.
Oh, that was so.
I was like, why could I pick up Surf? I was like, oh wait. Like,
Like, it
no.
was so perfect because we were just talking about like one of the reasons you go to Safari Zone is to get your bag full, and then you I'm like, and this is gonna be his last item, and then it said bag full.
Oh, so funny.
That was great. So, wait, what'd you think about the race? Because I know you in particular, you.
Dude, that was like one of the cooler races I've been in, to be honest. I mean, I was going for two weeks, I think, or something like that. It's not bad to get this. I'm just happy I didn't fail any nips. Me and Wayne were close for a good amount of it.
Yeah.
Then he just so far. I was like, oh crap.
Dude, I got real nervous for you. When you said you had 21 HP per surge, I was real nervous. That's so bad.
And then you guys going into Black Belt, you guys are really close again, and then unfortunately.
Yeah, I saw me and him had 130 IGT. I was like, oh,
I think
wow.
entering Juggler 1, we were actually like tied or something. That's where the red bar overtook you. I think it was really close though.
Entering the guy just before that, it was even, and then the red bar sort of made it a little bit different.
Yeah, it was really cool though for commentary wise because we were able to say how much time red bar saves because you guys were Quay was like a second ahead and then you left the fight first. So
yeah, that Surf TM thing, I lost a good amount of time there.
Yeah, that's where I caught up a lot too.
Yeah. So what do you guys?
Ooh, that's not right.
About
That's not right.
What happened?
Wait, hold on.
Bird?
Come on. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Okay.
He named them all A, so I think you just forgot which one was which.
Yeah. So we're seeing Conception going into the final fight here. But I want to kind of ask you guys too. So, what do you guys think? Because me and Pinkish were talking about it a bit during the entire race. What do you think about Red after the tournament and with all the work that kind of went into making these routes and safety and all that?
For me, I think the red routing that went in, especially for the tournament that happened, was so insane because I started playing red right before the tournament, and so I was doing the old route. So after each route came out with like the paralyzed heals and then the revive and then the candy, it's just the race routes make the game so much safer than it used to be. So it's like crazy how optimized the game is right now.
That's a GG for Conception there.
Yeah. I remember I used to get instant text and then save for Misty and then get it again. I thought there's no way you could possibly YOLO Misty. I was like, oh wait, if you have full HP, not a big of a deal. Yeah, my Misty was really scary. Oh my.
Oh god, I forgot about that.
I was
You
scared.
missed the range, right?
No,
he got
X defend. Okay, I thought you just missed the natural range. Never mind.
Then he got crit speed fall from Bubble Beam.
Yeah, I got crit speed fall. Oh man. Thank God I was able to swap out.
Also, what I saw was you swapped a Squirtle and then you went for tackle. Were you trying to kill it and then would you have done like?
Dude, I don't even know, man. I didn't know what I was doing. That never really happened, so I just did. I don't know. I was like, hey, just swap to something. I know it was in slot too. I didn't want to kill it though, because I would have to fight Gentleman.
Yeah,
But,
you're lucky
that was me
crit
just not
you.
knowing what to do. Yeah, that never happens in races, really. I usually just either die or just kill them.
Never deathless. It's just so sad.
I know, it sucks, but it's only one death though. I don't care.
Yeah, and Black Belt is one of the faster ones.
As long as I don't die in a really dumb way, I really don't care. Like
Wait,
down in Black Belt,
might be the
that's
fastest
normal.
death,
That's
actually.
very, very normal.
Dying in a dumb way, I don't think it's ever happened.
Oh no!
This is fun though.
Did you guys see my boulder in Victory Road?
Yes.
I saw people wreck into it. I didn't see it though.
The third boulder, you know the one where you push all the way to the left? I accidentally pushed it to the top row, and then I had to reload the room. It's just...
Suda was disappointed in you not for doing that, but for not repelling earlier and letting it.
That's a fair criticism.
Oh, exception finish. Nice.
Yeah, conception finish. Unfortunately, with the bad Brock luck,
I saw Zeta. He was getting screwed.
Yeah.
I'm uncertain if we're gonna have time to watch this one fully out. But just good job to all the runners. If we're gonna watch Zeta, unfortunately, finish it out after all that bad luck, then great. But congrats to all the runners. I'll work on getting Conception here, and
I think it's good, Baron.
Gonna move. Hello, Conception.
Hey, what's up?
GG. Congrats on finishing after dying on Shorts Guy. That was, with everything in mind, you did really good.
It could, yeah. I mean, it could have been worse. That Shorts Guy was a play. Should have healed out of crit range. But I was telling them during the race that I'm not as knowledgeable as some other people, so I wouldn't have even known to do that. So that was where my downfall kind of was. But I finished, so I'll take that.
It's definitely a race-only strat, and it's one of those things. But can I also commend you for being able to do that shopping with low money? You actually accommodated well for the death and all that. So good job. You did good.
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, it's funny because I was doing a practice run earlier, and Hwang was in my chat, and he noticed that I usually buy one extra X accuracy than I need. So when we were talking, I was like, oh, I'll just not buy that, and then I should be fine.
Such a good play there.
Yeah.
The no revives was... It surprised me. I'm not used to seeing that.
I'm a little behind in strats.
It's just as well you didn't have the money for it.
No, this is my second race ever. The first one I DQ'd. It was in the Pokemon Red tournament. And even in that Red tournament, I was using... I wasn't even doing full moon manip. I was using a slower Nido manip. So, things like that. I'm still acclimating to these not newer, but different for me strategies.
Well, this stuff is just for fun, so it's not a huge deal.
Yeah,
Like, no one's trying to, be the very best like no one ever was. It's just that, it's nice to, get a solid time with races.
Yeah, for sure.
152 with a death, that's pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah, not bad at all. My goal was to finish under 2 hours. I didn't quite make that, but I was pretty close.
Yeah, just a little bit over there, I think.
Yeah, 2:01.
What'd you die to?
Say it again?
Shorts Guy.
Shorts Guy.
Shorts Guy, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a bad one.
Yeah, so I had to walk of shame it all the way back.
Oh, my. I saw Zeta die to Brock a few times.
I just patronized chat as a result. I want if your PB is worse than that run, then you gotta step it up.
no, my PB is much better.
It's a huge time loss.
No, Zeta died to Hydra from crit.
Oh well, I got delayed then because I'm not seeing that.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, the stream is very delayed.
No.
If you just look at his stream in general, then you'll see it.
That's so unfortunate.
Zeta's not getting a break today.
Dang.
No, he's really not.
Looking in the chat, my fiance.
He's gonna Gen 1 miss the Thunderbolt.
Yeah. Can people in chat hear this right now?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, we're on commentary right now.
No, stop getting mad at Princess Ashfire. She is my fiance. Call me cute if she wants. We're getting married, so it's all good.
Congratulations.
Congrats, man.
Thanks.
No, nobody can hear right now. We're offline right now. The stream crashed, Kappa.
No.
Okay, he didn't die again. So,
that's so low.
I'm actually curious what's gonna happen here. So everyone actually kind of focus on Zeta, because something interesting might happen.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Is he doing it? Okay.
What are we looking for?
I think, yeah, he is doing it.
YOLO drill!
So,
totally an accident.
what Zeta is doing
I
here
complaint.
is he is.
You can't hit it. It's faster than you.
Anyone else
Stop
have
it.
complaints?
What is the,
I don't. It's faster than him
What is
with
he
all the
trying to do?
agilities.
He's more so trolling.
I'm reading the chat now.
He wanted to kind of donate a little bit to charity. So for every Hwandbro miss, he's gonna donate some money to charity. So
Hell yeah.
purposely setting it up to miss a lot. So
Is he even gonna finish now though?
we'll have to see. But let's just say that no matter what, Pinkish 100% believed that. And you saw how mad he got.
I got.
What is he going for? Just memeing, I guess.
Yeah, basically. He wanted to meme mainly on Pinkish, who didn't know that was happening. Alright, so he's gonna be through Lance here in a moment. And then it's gonna be the final fight. Well, once again, GG to everyone. It was a really interesting race. Once again, I cannot commend Conception enough for actually sticking through and finishing a run where you have to walk all the way from mom back up to Peter. And then Quay and Hwang, you guys did great, just like always.
Honestly,
yeah, I'm really happy I hit all my minutes because I'm looking at a new monitor, and I'm really glad it didn't mess me up.
Honestly, having that walk of shame really took the edge off for me. I was like, oh, no pressure now. Like, it's all good.
We'll just hope for no turn one CI attack, please. Alright, that should be GG. Hey, even red bar. Nice.
Wait, why is he forward? Maybe just 100%.
Oh no.
Oh no, you can die here.
Wait.
Maybe he just didn't know the range.
Yeah, I guess he could blizzard this.
Yeah, he can blizzard. Yeah, alright. As long as that dies. And then he's 100% through. So, just because of the sake of time,
okay, now he's 100% through.
Yeah, I'm going to be finishing it through. But basically, he's going to finish 100%. He's at full health. He didn't Gen 1 miss out Kazam. And just for the sake of time, thank you guys so much. Thank you to Pinkish for helping me commentate. And thank you for you guys for racing. It was so much fun to commentate. You guys all did great. I already missed the tournament, and this helped bring that feeling back. So thank you guys.
Yeah, this is really fun.
Yeah, I definitely had a good time too.
Thank you, Midwest Speedfest. Lit up Speedfest for hosting us.
Yeah,
really cool.
Throwing in my donation now, so look out for that. Putting it towards the song "Feel the Sunshine."
So
who doesn't
if you also donate and maybe match Conception, look out for his donation and help everyone out. So thank you guys again. This is great. Check out the Pokemon Speedrunning Discord if you want. This route that basically Hwang was using with some variations, I wrote a beginner guide to it, and it's been posted. It uses all of WSoft's things, and recently, like yesterday, a lot of people reviewed it. So that's kind of out there. There's more stuff out there. We are maybe considering doing tournaments like that yearly, so there's a lot coming. So if you like it, check it out. Thank you guys. You want this route?
And I will quickly. We can hear the.
I wrote a beginner guide to it.
I guess we're not talking to Zeta because we can hear the background. I was gonna move them in for their final shoutouts.
Well, thank you guys.
Thanks for putting it on.
Thank you so much for running.
Bye bye, and wear your seatbelt.
Alright, thank you. I will see you guys.